Hello, welcome to the show. It is episode 260. What's the date? 28th of March. What the hell? It was literally Christmas yesterday. What is going on? I can't believe it. We are virtually one quarter of the way through 2025. I suppose the quicker it goes, the quicker we get through some of this awful stuff we're going through outside of this little world that we call the Pro Synth Network. But anyway, we won't go there. A little bit of politics. This is episode 260, and as you may have guessed from the cover shot and the comments that I've been making in and around the various pieces of social media that we're present on, that this is our official 5th birthday. So here in England, when it comes to the monarchy and the royalty, they have an actual birthday and they have their official birthday. And this is our official birthday, but we kind of were 5 years old maybe a couple of weeks ago because we did a couple of test things. So I don't officially include those in. We go from episode 1. And we have not missed a show in 5 years. Now, that's not to say that we haven't shifted the day, because we started off, would you believe, on a Sunday. We used to do this on a Sunday evening. And then we shifted it. What did we shifted it to something else. Was it Thursday? Did we do Thursday? I seem to recall. And then some bright spark by the name of Simon said to me, "Do it Friday, mate. Do it Friday. Beginning of the weekend. Everyone will love that. You'll get loads of people." And he doesn't talk like that, but I just thought I'd do a voice. And it kind of worked, and it stuck. And so here we are. So many shows in, and this is our 5th birthday, officially 5th birthday. And we have got some news for you. We've got some nostalgia for you. We've also got a very special guest. And just as I said that, Kent has obviously just received his notification on email that the show has started, so he's decided to join us. Bless him. But before we speak to him, let's speak to our very special guest this week, which is, you might have heard him in the background, it's Tom. No, actually, it's Jervis. But there's Tom. Everybody likes a kitty. Oh, look, he's so gorge.
He doesn't often face the camera like that. So he knows it's a special occasion.
He does, yeah.
He really does. He's dressed
sweetheart
in resplendent birthday red.
Yes.
Well, but anyway, good evening. Hello, happy Friday to everybody. I hope we've had a good week. It's been a week, isn't it?
It has been a week. Yeah, it has been a week.
But I've come with snacks. So form an orderly queue. Brought some figs.
Oh, Tom's
a healthy snack. Tom no! Do you know why?
Because it sounds like a packet of Dreamies or something, doesn't it? Yeah.
Which
I'm liking the way daffodils.
Well, you've got to. I mean, seasonal flowers. Okay, guys, seasonal flowers. Daffodils come out once a year. Now, these are unfortunately drooping. Some of them aren't as delicious as they were, but one must enjoy them whilst they're here.
Absolutely.
Like all things, they come, they go, and they come back again. But enjoy them while you can. So unfortunately, Robbie, you're sat behind. Robbie 2.0 is sat behind Tom, and I tried to make him. Oh, that's my laptop.
We get there in the end. There he is.
Can you see?
I can.
There's Robbie 2.0, slightly in front of the light by Tom. Oh, look at Tom. He's a good boy, isn't he?
He's lovely, isn't he? Not like that other reprobate.
No,
you have.
No, and I can't show you him because his camera's been decommissioned.
Oh, so he's off in a huff.
Well, I mean, he's making political comments all the time. I mean, there he goes again. There he goes again. I mean, I don't know where he gets his views from, but it's not from me.
I'm sure he will make an appearance at some point in the show.
He's going to jump up right now.
Indeed. Listen, thank you ever so much for joining. What was fairly short notice.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate it. And just in case anyone is wondering, Jason's here because we love him, but he's also here because Andrew's not. Andrew, get his name right, has unfortunately been waylaid with some family matters, and he needs to take care of. So he won't be making the show today. I know he's very disappointed, and we do miss him, but he has much more important things to be taken care of. So we all send our love to you, Andrew, and to Liz, and to Simon as well, and we hope that everything is okay, and that we see you again soon. So Jason is here standing in, filling those considerable boots.
They are indeed.
But there's Jackson. He's here. He had to make an appearance sooner or later.
And I'm
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
To die. Your Walter
dear.
PPK to mine, whatever it was. Christopher Lee.
You can
I mean,
tell
come
we're
on.
the same generation. Anyway, talking of stroking pets, here's somebody else who's stroking a furry thing.
Yay!
Yes.
Sporting her fantastic collar. Look at that.
Actually, I didn't see your message. Actually, what I was doing was Noah has quite badly hurt himself, and he was doing a lot of screaming and shouting, and he needed some care and attention.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll give him a big hug from.
Yeah, he's hurt his bad leg.
Oh dear.
Out of all the legs he had to choose from,
he's got
It's
four.
always the bad one.
yeah, he hurt the bad one. So,
That must be his favourite leg.
yeah.
We've all got
It's
one.
the one he favours, certainly. That's for sure. So,
Anyway, other than that, how is the?
tired, disorientated, vaguely annoyed.
Oh,
There's a whole list. Today has been tiresome and trying.
Okay. Have you been working on that vocoder?
I will not have it mentioned in my presence.
Oh, okay. Fair
Let's
enough.
just say I could have done without the small fire.
Ah. Okay.
Hmm.
We'll leave it there. Because you never know, Mr. Miller might be watching.
I'm beginning to realise why they stopped using it.
Yes. Or how they got that smoky nature to their
Oh.
Oh.
A vocoder provides its own atmospherics.
Yes. That's what Craftwriter are all about. Anyway, good to see you. Here we are, all three of us. Oh, and four of us, because Jackson has gone. Oh, he's just so gorgeous.
I don't know where Sydney's gone.
he keeps trying to get off the table, but I mean, with his, he'll hit some key on the keyboard, the computer keyboard, and he will do something just that nobody wants. That's his absolute
Autoburn.
Yeah. Or Craft Not Work.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah.
craft not work.
Yes. Anyway. Right. Okay. Well, we've introduced everyone, but you know what? We've forgotten to do the housekeeping.
No.
I
We
know.
have, we have.
You've got dust
So-
everywhere.
I know. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So let's just first of all remind you all, if you haven't already, give us a like on the show. So hit that thumbs up or thumbs down if you don't like us. That's fine. It's not obligatory.
But yeah.
Whoa! I don't know whether that was a vote
Jackson's
of confidence or
annoyed.
not. Jackson, that was a thumbs up from Jackson, I think.
Didn't
Also,
sound like
if you want to comment during the show, please do so via the YouTube chat, through the Twitch chat, and the Facebook chat. We see all three come through. So no matter what platform you're watching on, you'll be able to communicate with us and share your thoughts. If you want to share your thoughts and get our attention, it's best to stick a big... I don't know why I did that. But put a big capital Q in front of your comment or question. That generally brings it to our specific attention. But if you haven't already, give us a subscribe. The subscription thing is quite important to anybody that does things on YouTube. The more people that subscribe, the more YouTube likes to share things around. So that's really useful. You can turn off the notifications so you never get any sort of hassle from us. But it's nice to have you subscribing. However, if you turn on the notifications, if you live in somewhere like, I don't know, North America, when your clocks go forward 3 weeks before the rest of the world, then you don't have to worry about, when's ProSynth Network on? When you're subscribed with notifications, it tells you that it's on an hour later or earlier or whatever it might be. But anyway, it doesn't matter now because this Sunday we go forward, and so everybody's back in synchronization. Daylight savings, it should be just binned off. But never mind. Subscribe to us is what I'm basically trying to say. And obviously, if you know somebody who would love this show but doesn't already watch, then do share the link around. That would be most useful. You can also share our name around by visiting and purchasing merchandise from our merchandise store. Yes, we have a merchandise store. In fact, I will bring it up onto the screen here for your delectation. If I can find the blooming thing. There it is. And we pop it in right there. There it is in all its glory. And we've got some new bits on there. So we've got the Keith in Watford ProSynth Network orange bandana. We've got the ProSynth Network soy wax candle, which doesn't apparently smell of anything.
Good.
Burnt capacitors and resistors would be nice. I suggested crushed dreams and frustration. But apparently it's a natural smell.
That's
but
good.
It looks nice.
Because there's a lot of toxic chemicals in anything that makes a smell. So it's a really, really, really healthy, good thing. So actually, if you are looking, eat it. Eat it as well.
Indeed. And when you finish with it, clean it out, use it as a whiskey glass. Look at that. Fantastic. Framed matte posters. We do framed matte posters now. That's not posters of Matt.
I was going to say, who's Matt?
Yeah, it's matte posters. Actually, Matt Evans did inspire me to put the posters in the shop because he took the wonderful ProSynth Network desktop mat and hung it on his wall. And I thought, well, no, it's a desktop mat, not a poster. So let's do some posters. We've also got the red poster, which I think is very striking. And I will show you. Somebody's already bought one of those. We've got the red coasters. We've got the Justin Have You cartoon tank tees. We've got the My Other Synth Is t-shirts. We've only got DX7s and DX1s because, quite frankly, your other synth should always be a DX7 and DX1, but I will do some more. We've got the MagSafe charging cases for iPhones. We've got jackets, tote bags, dresses, jogging bottoms. I got some jogging bottoms the other day. They're not bad. Stickers, all sorts of things. But it's a great way to show your support. You can wear these out and about if you dare. But also we get a slice off the top of that, and it does help to keep the channel going. Other ways you can support us, of course, are on Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/ProSynth Network, then you will find a load of goodies, exclusive videos, ad-free videos, content for your synthesizers, patches for hardware and software synths donated by the likes of Mark Barnes and James Dyson and others besides. So it's a minimum $2 a month, and you get all of that thrown in, and you can switch on and switch off as much as you like. It's fantastic. And same with YouTube membership, you get the same thing. So if you become a YouTube channel member for our channel, you get all of that free stuff, and you can turn it on and off as and when you feel is necessary. We're across all the social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. As I said before, stick a Q in front of your comment or question so that we can see it. And if you also want to donate during the show, you can use YouTube Super Chat and Super Stickers. Or if you're watching after the show, you can use the YouTube Thanks button. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the housekeeping for the 5th birthday show.
Round of applause for the pioneers.
There we go. It is going to be a bit silly because it is our 5th birthday, and I think that grants us license to be a little silly. So we're gonna do that. But we have got some serious news topics, and we've got some light-hearted stuff. But of course, it all depends on you watchers. If you are watching the show, please do contribute. Please, when I say contribute, not necessarily financially, although that's nice, but contribute to the conversation, and that would be fantastic. Talking of financial donations, Matt and Sue, Bostic247. I'm assuming both of you are watching. With your cup of cocoa and your ProSynth Network mugs and your ProSynth Network t-shirts. I need to get some ProSynth Network slippers, and then the picture would be perfect. But thank you very much for your donation. Happy 5th birthday, £5. That's very appropriate. Thank you indeed. Steve Ixorb. Happy fake made-up date 5th. It's not really. It is kind of official. It's by show number, and we've never missed a show. So that's how we do it. $9.99. Thank you very much indeed. Peter Long. Happy 5th, $10. I'm assuming that's US. And thank you very much indeed for your donations, all three of you. That is fantastic. We love you all.
Cool.
And superb. DX7 toilet paper, somebody suggested in the chat. It's already brown. How would you know? Is what I would say.
Anyway, the DX7, I think, is the.
Yeah.
I've got a really dark brown liquid as well.
Yeah, well, I just thought I've got a beer in the fridge, and I thought, I'll have it. I'll have it during the show. Cat Synth Lady asks, Amanda Chowdhury, thank you very much. Muzzle Toff on 5 years from myself, Sam, and Big Merp. Cat Synth TV, of course, is Amanda's channel and video. There you go, especially for you.
Amanda.
There is Tom, looking lovely and purry, or not.
No studio is complete without a cat.
Exactly.
Or two. Or perhaps a dog or two.
Indeed.
Or 5.
Good. I don't let mine in during the show. There'd be too much hassle. But yes, listen. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for your lovely comments and your best wishes for the show. Thank you very much indeed. I haven't seen any of our moderators. Oh no, Ben there is there. Ben Musings. If you haven't checked Ben's site out, Musings, you're missing out massively. I go there. I don't know how many times a week, whether I want to or I'm led to by somebody else. You always end up there because it's a fantastic resource of synthesizer history. But hello to everyone that's in the chat. I would go through you one by one, but it would take forever. So let me assure you that this thank you is for all of you, including, yes, you.
It's a blanket thank you, a blank you.
A blank you, yeah.
It doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work.
It doesn't. Anyway,
my sock.
We've had a couple more. Oh, thank you very much indeed.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Mike. Is it because I turned my volume down?
Happy birthday from Ben. Well done. A handshake is available on request. We'll hopefully see you at a show at some point. And of course, I will be seeing this guy because he's definitely going to be buying me dinner in Berlin. Many happy returns of the day, PSN and FFS. Jason, turn down your mic by 3 dB.
I did.
It's very precise.
It was precise.
Yeah, somebody said that I sounded low, but I haven't changed my volume at all.
Okay.
So that's very strange. I don't know why. Maybe it is because I think StreamYard likes to level things, and if maybe Jason was a bit hot, it was, I don't know. But there we go. We'll carry on. I'll make sure that I'm as close to the mic as I possibly can be. There we go. Oh, another donation. Thank you very much indeed. I sing the PSN birthday cake. That's I sing the Body Electric, in case anybody is wondering. Thank you ever so much for your wonderful donation. This will buy copious amounts of beer for Mike Metley, because you think Mike Metley sober is a lot to handle. You should see him when he's drunk. Nick House has been incredibly generous. I like these kinds of things. Gifted 5 ProSynth Network memberships. What a man. Thank you very much indeed. That's really good. I appreciate that a lot. Excellent. So hopefully 5 of you are now members. I'm assuming, I don't know, Kissing the Machine, I can't remember if you remember or not before, but if you're not, then you are now.
Like it.
So, yes, Metley Drunk would be a video to share. I will try and gather footage. In fact, I've been beefing up my video game. I'm going to... Somebody actually said I could be the next Jason Jervis, but I've got a gimbal now. I've got a I've got a gimbal. Ooh. I've got wireless microphones.
Oh, they're the joy,
aren't they? They're incredibly. I just thought, why not? I
just upgraded mine as well. So
and Rhodes sent me a free interview mic stick, so I can be a proper roving reporter now. It's really good. So I've got proper mics, I've got proper gimbals, I've got a proper camera, I've got a new bag where I can put my charging bank in the bag, but have the socket on the outside of the bag, which I thought was rather cool. So I'm geared up, and I should probably take chuff all footage. But there you go. Thank you, Ronald.
Thank you, Ronald.
Looking forward to future shows. Who knows? Might just call it a day at 5. You know.
Quick, while we're ahead.
This is our Ziggy moment.
Yeah, so many mothers sighing.
Well, we were going to get a Cadbury's flake cake.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And we picked out one that we liked very much, but it's 59 quid, and went, no, I'm not paying 59 quid for a chocolate cake.
Wow. Nobody needs to spend that much money on a chocolate cake.
No, do you know what I was actually looking for? The Cadbury's Swiss Gatto. They don't make it anymore. So I'm starting a campaign. To get the Cadbury's Swiss Gatto back.
Can I just interject slightly on the subject of Gatto? Apparently, it's Black Forest Gatto Day today.
Is it really?
Yeah. So go out, get yourself a Black Forest Gatto, lavish it with pouring single cream, and gorge yourself till bedtime.
I'm not mad on the cherry.
Oh, I love that. That's
what
the best.
It reminds me of marzipan.
I love marzipan.
Oh, what?
Excuse me, I'm just going to text Mrs. ProSynth Network.
What kind of hideous alien are you?
Why haven't we got Black Forest Gatto?
Well, I'm Welsh for starters.
Oh, well, you're
I'll
right.
tell you what Mrs. PSN did.
You're
buy
at
me,
a
the
disadvantage
other day.
right out the gate.
I got some dark chocolate covered black cherries.
Oh, nice.
Oh, they yeah. No
I'm
wonder
happy with
my visit to the cardiologist today didn't go so well.
Ah,
But there you go. Indeed. Don't worry, I'm still here. You're still going to have to suffer me. But there we go. Anyway, should we do some proper ProSynth Network stuff before we
Should
get
we?
into the? Yeah, I think we should. Let's just steer it back onto a path of sanity, just for.
do we have that video for later?
We do. Do you want it to? When do you want to do it? Do you want to do it now, or do you want to do it later?
I
Or
don't
we can do
mind.
it multiple times because it's fairly short.
It is short,
Should-
isn't it?
Let's. Okay.
World Piano Day as well.
Really? Oh, that's. I thought that was. Okay. Well, it's World Ping Pong Ball Day in the Spong household.
Oh, right there.
To celebrate ProSynth Network's 5th birthday, Kent thought he'd play a wonderful prank on the lovely and well put upon Fiona, his dear partner.
And there's the bruise
Yeah,
to prove it.
and
Just
you'll.
there.
Should we show you how Kent got that bruise?
Let's do it.
Have a
Please.
little watch. Have a little watch of this.
What's those,
which now included Lila.
those
Slowly
crackers?
rolled into the pond, embracing nature.
The crisp breaks.
Absolutely.
The crisp breaks.
Yeah, that's what they're
While
called.
the little rules non-mandatory
Have we got any of them?
actually state guests was also tacit and understood, though perhaps the latter edict could reasonably be found in certain circumstances.
Fucking twat!
Travelling to Ireland, British
Asshole!
Yeah, they're the ones. Ow!
Shit!
Ow!
and his body so it was placed in the pure dog.
There you go. No, got a ball to play.
A raddled African.
Oh dear.
If my daughter wasn't watching right now, I would be playing that prank on her. But maybe we can play it on her brother, who
Yeah.
not watching.
Yeah.
That's a great. Oh, can I?
The trick is to take the shelf and to prop it up slightly,
Mm.
and then load the bags of balls in, and then
Yeah.
with a knife just hold it up and pull the door and thump, primed.
Love
That's
it.
that is
Yeah,
how it is done.
That's why we watch ProSynth Network. Those are the things we need in our life.
That was fun. The thing was, 5 minutes before that actually happened, the moment it actually happened, Kent sends me a message. What did you say? It was something quite innocuous, but he said, "I've just set this thing up with Fiona, and she's just pulled up in the driveway." And then like 10 minutes later, he sends me that video, and I'm like, "And you're still alive?" Wow. Yes, she will get her own back, I'm sure, at some point. But anyway,
She has done in the past as well.
there's some party antics to get us started for our 5th birthday.
Fabulous.
Yeah, as Matt says, having met Fiona, this will not end well.
Yeah.
Particularly now that we've publicly played that video. Mickey says in the chat, "Oh no, that's not Mickey. Where's Mickey? There's Mickey. Oh, Mickey, he's so fine. He's so fine. He blows my mind."
Hey, Mickey.
Yeah, merch idea: PSN ping pong balls.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into Sticky Vicky territory, and we don't really want to be going there. Less said, the better. Google it if you don't. I'm not going to tell you. Just Google it. Let's do some news. I think. Let's start off with probably the news of du jour today on our 5th birthday. A company is celebrating allegedly the 10th birthday of their first ever synthesizer. Except it's not their 10th.
not theirs.
It's about 8.5.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's yeah, because I
2000
did some. Yeah, 2016.
I bought mine 2016. Yeah, so I mean I don't have it anymore, but yeah.
I remember they kind of eventually displayed the name back end of 2016, and I think it was it at Synthfest 2017 that they came down with the VR headset. Do you remember that? Were you there? No. Okay. Maybe it was just me. But anyway,
What
what are we talking
about?
about? What are we talking about? We're talking about the DeepMind X series. That moniker, by the way, has already been used 40 odd years ago by Yamaha, but we'll cut them some slack.
Everybody's used it.
I know, right? But
why not change it to a Y?
I know. Why? Why, Berenger? Why?
Y series?
Why are you doing this to me? Let's watch a video.
Yeah, please.
Hi, today we are here for a special anniversary. It's been 10 years since Behringer DeepMind changed the game. We are celebrating a decade of innovation with a bold new look. Introducing the DeepMind X series with a new color, end sides and panel graphics. DeepMind X has a pure analog signal path with the legendary 3109 Japanese-style filter, stereo VCAs, and 12 voices of polyphony. It also includes 4 simultaneous effects engines with world-class quality algorithms from TC Electronics, Midas, and Clark Technique, including delays, reverbs, chorus, phaser, flanger, distortions, and many more. DeepMind X is an instant classic synthesizer, inspired from the past, designed for the future.
And that's what we'll cut that short there. But yes, Behringer have rebooted the DeepMind. I looked at this and thought, oh, maybe what's new? What's new? It literally is a paint job and end cheeks. That's all. Everything else is literally the same. So they basically just rebooted it with a color scheme that no longer has you under any illusion as to its original, as to its original inspiration. Which is, for me, was the kind of thing that made the DeepMind a little bit more, what's the word, acceptable, because although we knew it was inspired by the Junos, they didn't go out and out to copy the look of the Juno, and so I kind of gave them a little bit of credit for that, thinking, you know, so many synths are inspired by other synths, but they don't have to copy everything. Now they really have. One good question is, does this mean that because apparently they were going to do, was it the JT? Not the JT. There was going to be another Neptune, I think it was called. Neptune was going to be a proper Juno clone. Have they ditched that idea now? I don't know. Anyway,
I need to do that. I mean, if the DeepMind was always an extension of the Juno series, and you've got enough Roland character in there, but then all the other stuff. So it's like, yeah, okay, great. I appreciate that. Yeah, whilst you are now renowned for making, clones, this was something that was like, as you say, it's much easier to accept the fact that you've started with something that exists and then you've taken it further.
Yes.
Which isn't that what everyone's done since the Mini Moog, really?
Exactly. I mean, they've given it double the voices.
Yeah.
They've given it a nice big detailed screen. They've given it MIDI and USB.
Yeah.
They've given it tablet control. They've given it a nice modulation matrix and a built-in sequencer and all that. So they really have truly expanded the whole Juno experience.
Yeah. But they've made it look like a modern Roland keyboard rather than a vintage one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than that sort of decal level is what Roland are doing now, not what they were doing in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the end cheeks either. No. I never liked them. So
I mean, this is the same. This is the 49 key form factor that we see in like that thing back there, the Wave, and we've seen in other things. It's a nice size because it's compact, and yet everything is kind of there. I would have liked a 61. A nice 61 note version with a polyphonic aftertouch would have been a nice, even if they'd left the engine alone. Just
push
do that.
Push the boat. Go on,
so
a little
they
bit
haven't
further
got
up.
that technology.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, you're a DeepMind owner, Jason. Or you were?
No, I was. Yeah, I sold it. Yeah.
Is it a good synth?
Yeah, it was. Like I say, it was one of the first synths I bought. getting back into sort of buying synths again after a long sojourn and a long time buying acoustic instruments. Shh, don't tell anyone. I bought a Sub 37, which obviously fantastic. Again, very, very deep synth. And then the DeepMind 12 was maybe about six to 12 months after that. And I enjoyed it. And again, as you say, the physical format of it is really good because it's shallow. So actually, my shelves are very shallow. So I haven't got a lot of space in here. So those kind of things are, beneficial to me. One thing I didn't like was the quality of the faders. They were just a little bit, loose at best. But sonically, really nice. And I mean, I'm not a massive vintage Roland fan, as people who watch my show will know. It's not something I aspire to owning. I don't want a Jupiter 8, don't want any of the Jupiters, don't want a Juno, but this was, again, because it started with that sort of root and then grew to something else, as you say, and it wasn't physically referencing as well, which again for me was a big thing. It's like, yeah, this is a synth in its own right. It doesn't need to show me where it's come from.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, great. I mean, a great synth. I mean, I'm also for it, but
yeah, it's. I've actually I looked at this morning and thought, I might just try one of these out, and then I realised it was exactly the same as the original, which is good. But I just thought, maybe there's something new here for me to. I might give it a go. I don't know. It's got built-in Wi-Fi as well. Look at that. Who knew? Oh, Shroomies in the
Yay!
Yay!
Bark.
And apparently, you can control it from a tablet or iOS or Android device, which is an interesting thing. Also, Momo, is the guy that does these little like $7.99 plug-in controller interfaces things for different. He does Behringer DeepMind one for those. But look, it's a nice thing. Mr. Spong, any thoughts on this?
The DeepMind 12 was that keyboard that, when it came out, was screaming, "Hello, I'm a 106."
Yeah.
And then it was that keyboard that started my dislike of Behringer initially, because they had because they say, "Oh yes, we did all this R&D in getting this sound and everything like that," and they basically stole Analog Renaissance's filter. They didn't even bother changing the look of the circuit; they just copied it.
Right.
And I go, well, that's a very extensive R&D then, isn't it? And it did piss me off greatly, because I was good friends with him and everything. He was trying to get this thing off the ground, and then Behringer come along and steal it.
This is the same guy, by the way, who does the replacement 106 voice and filter chips.
Yeah.
Which I've got in mind. Yeah,
well, that's what they stole.
Jeez.
Outright, they just copied it and incorporated it into the board. So it tarnished my relationship with Behringer, which eased after time. And I mean, after to be honest with you, they've pulled some genius things out of the hat over the years, anyway. But and also they've made it affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
Doing a paint job on her that makes her look more like a Juno than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you can't get that Juno sound anywhere these days, whether you're looking at hardware or software.
Yeah, true enough.
It's pretty accessible. But
yeah, but there's something about using stuff in hardware where you get the experience of using it.
Yeah.
In the guise it's designed in, as opposed to using software. Like I said about where they did the System 55. Does it sound like a System 55? Well, no. But you get the experience of what it was like to use a 55 and use the 960 sequencer. rather than using it on a screen, which is it's a different experience when you're using it with a a mouse or a trackpad. It's not quite the same thing. So
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, if somebody wants to go for that because it looks like a Juno, cool. Because they sure as hell can't afford a Juno that easily. Because I mean, what are they doing? What are they paying? 4,200 quid now for a nice Juno. Juno 60 will set you back.
I know
up,
that
up to 4K.
Yeah, the 106,
which is nuts.
Yeah, I mean the 106 is going for 1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah,
which
depending on condition. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to tell the guy that literally gave me their 106 because he might want it back. No,
or the ones in the garage that I broke up for spares.
I know, right? Yeah,
there's about 8 of them.
Thanks, Steve.
G'day.
Yeah, the 106 is fetching quite a bit of money.
Yeah, well, all that stuff.
The thing when I got my 106, and I knew that it didn't have it. It does lack the arpeggiator that the 6 and 60 came with, which I think was a kind of a special part of the Juno experience. I mean, the 106 sounds. The Juno itself is a synthesizer that, if you can make it sound bad, you need a kicking because it's so hard.
Yeah,
to make a Juno sound awful.
Hard to make. Yeah, well, anything that could make it sound bad isn't on the front panel.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
So I love the sound of it, but I just wish I had that up. So rather than spend $4,500 on said original, this is what $799 I think for the. This is euros prices. $799 for the 12. $699 I think for the 6 voice.
Not $599.
And €639 for the desktop version of the 12, which is not a bad price.
Desktop version would be the one, I think.
Well, you see, this is the thing. They're affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
affordable, isn't it?
Yeah. So
not a bad thing, but look, it's when the news broke this morning, the first thing I thought is they do listen, because people have been calling out for a reinvigorated DeepMind for some time, and then of course reading through the blurb, it's just a paint job. But I'm sure a lot of people, the original DeepMind's still available. I thought I went to look and checked at places like Thomann and stuff, and they're all still there in stock. So it's not like you couldn't get them. It's not like we've brought it back. No, they're literally just giving it a paint job.
Yeah, but there's a discrepancy there, though, Rob, because they said that they modelled the 3109 filter.
I don't know, they said they modelled it.
Japanese filter. It was subtle, wasn't it?
Yeah, because that isn't in the 106.
Right.
That's in the Juno
60.
60. It's a different filter. It's also the filter that's in the Jupiter 6. Well.
Okay. Well, that'll be it then. So maybe that's obviously sort of showing its roots, isn't it? Juno
so if they've remodeled the filters to be, because originally the DeepMind had the 106 filters.
Yeah.
So if it's got the 3109s in it, then it should lean more towards Juno 6 and 60, hence the paint job.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes more sense then.
They certainly haven't made any reference to any internal changes in anything that I've seen, but they are so cagey sometimes with their information. All it says here: high pass filter, 6 dB per octave, and a VCF 2-pole, 4-pole.
But in the video, it was saying it was modelled on 3109s.
Full of hyperbole.
Nothing is ever.
Nothing straightforward with it, is it? It's all sort of cloak and dagger and.
But listen, I mean,
brown envelopes
for €799 max, shall we say? Because it's probably going to come to under that. You get a 12-voice analog polyphonic synth that is difficult to make sound awful. Plus, you get all the extra stuff such as the sequencer and all the effects built in. It's a great all-round analog synth that will just sit in the sweet spot wherever you want to use it. So you can't really knock it for that.
Well, especially when you see how much it costs to put MIDI into a Juno 60.
Exactly. And you can store 1,024 patches in a DeepMind. 8 banks
Nice.
of 128. 22 source, 130 destination mod matrix.
Incredible.
It does push beyond, that traditional Juno envelope. So there we go. Anyway, it's going to be available to order, I think, today or tomorrow at the earliest. As I said, the prices are roughly $799 for the 12, $639. This is all euros, by the way. $639 for the desktop 12, and I think $699 or something around that for the 6-voice version, which is 37 key keyboard. But I would have loved a 61. That would have been nice. But yeah, apparently available to deliver fairly soon, because they never coincide when they launch something. The film design of the DeepMind 12 was an exact replica of the original Juno by building they didn't rebuild shit. Components such as whatever he says, as in
There we go.
not Wagyu. Don't
In 2016. There we go.
Indeed, there it is.
But yeah, I mean, it gives Roland a run for their money as well for the similar systems that they're selling now.
The Juno X is a really nice keyboard.
Yeah,
it's a really nice keyboard because it has the ability to not only run all of the Juno engines, but also the Jupiters and everything else. You can load any of those in, and all the power.
It looks like the new DeepMind.
Yeah, but I really like the Juno X. I've played it. I played it at the Roland store in London, and it was really, really nice. Yeah, nice feeling, nice, keyboard, lovely layout.
Finish, I guess, as well, comparatively speaking.
It's very nice. Really nice. Anyway, that was the DeepMind X, DeepMind 12X or X12. I can't remember which way around to do it, but it's one of those things. It's paint job basically. But if we're talking about Juno, this is a nice little segue. This is Tubbutec or Tubbutec. I don't know how you pronounce that, but they do some wonderful upgrades for the MC202, the SH101, the Juno 66, and a couple of others besides. They do a Monopoly update and a CS update. But for those first three, the MC202, the SH101 and the Juno 60, they've now released these little plug-in controllers to help you control all the extra features that their upgrades provide. And they look lovely. They're clearly inspired by the original Roland programmers back in the day, but they're a lot smaller. But they give you all of they basically open up all of these extra controls that their modifications give you. So I don't. Ken, do you ever fit any of the Tubbutec or Tubbutec?
Oh God, yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time, mate.
I mean, can you speak to those upgrades themselves? Forget the controllers for a minute. The upgrades themselves, are they really worth having?
Yeah, I mean, they're giving you facilities that you would otherwise not have. I mean, there's all sorts of different things in the lists, basically. I mean, some of them will provide you with MIDI, some will provide you with extra presets. It depends on what particular kit it is you're getting. I mean, he does a lot of MIDI sync for, ancient drum machines. Mm-hmm. So you can sync them up to, doors and sequences and stuff. And at a very affordable price. Some of them can be a little fiddly to fit, but then that's why I exist. Technically, so I have the pain of fitting them. So, and so I mean, if you've got a lovely drum machine, you go, oh, that'd be so nice to be able to use this with all this gear and the kind of thing. He'll have an upgrade for it that allows that to happen.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
bringing it kicking and screaming into the 21st century, as it were.
Yeah. So let's just take the Juno one. This is €241 plus VAT and shipping. I assume that is just the controller and not the mod pack as well. I think you have to buy that separately, which I believe are about 170, 180. For the modification package. Yeah, it depends.
There are all sorts of different prices depending on the mod, isn't it?
Yeah, 178 for the Juno 66 one. But I think that's a really nice little addition to having. If you've added all these new features, this is a great way to be able to access them.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, if
I
you've got
like
expensive, valuable vintage synth, then yeah, this is the sort of thing you want. These modern conveniences that we take for granted, don't you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mind you, also that as you know, a sole trader, it is very expensive to put something like that together. If you're not a massive, great big bleeding factory in China,
Yeah.
so that's
I always
actually
liked-
quite keenly priced as well.
Yeah, I always like the Roman programmers. Those little extra boxes, the PG
PGs,
200, 300, 1,000, whatever it was, depending on the synth that you had. I like those. I thought, that's nice because you can plug it in and you get more stuff. You don't get necessarily more stuff. You just get to access the stuff that you can't sort of readily access. But no, I like these. I like these a lot. I think these are very cool. I did have a video, but I think we've talked about it enough now. But it is nice.
Yeah, you wear it out, mate.
Yeah. Very nice. So these are, is it Tubbutec, Tube-Tech? I don't know.
I call it Tubbutec.
Tubbutec.
Yeah.
Time
He
for
doesn't
Tubbutec.
seem
They
to,
do
I mean, when
say
I
the
phone
video-
him, he doesn't seem to mind me calling him Tubbutec. So,
Tubbutec.
right, Tubbutec.
Time for Tubbutec.
These are available, as I said before, for their MC202, the SH101, and their Juno 66 modification pack. So you need one of those to take
First.
advantage of this. So if you are in that marketplace, then these are a nice little thing to have.
Yeah, a lot of them look suspiciously like Adrenos, modified Adrenos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some of them aren't. Some of them are built more from the ground up.
Yeah. It's Jason. It is. Sorry, Jason. James. It would be nice to have things like this, but I always wonder. We've spoken about sort of bespoke, custom controllers for synthesizers before, and you either build one that can do lots of synthesizers, or you just find one synthesizer to focus on, and therefore that you kind of limit yourself.
Yeah. I think for that to work as a software controller, it would have to be one box for all with templates that you put over the top.
Yeah. And
But
so-
it changes the physical, because the layout, because that's what's nice about them is you've got this almost like you'll have the same experience of using the synth. And I think it's like anything else. Once you've got that grey of an SH101 in front of you, then you are playing an SH101. If you've got the colourful black and red of and blue of a Juno, then that's also gives you a bit more of that experience. I guess, but
Three
not one-
words: touch digital controllers.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. That's
Do
what.
you
Where
remember
are
there
they?
was- there was a controller we looked at a few years ago, which was very, very similar to what the PPG Realizer was trying to be all of those years ago, which was a big screen with knobs around all four sides with little white lines that drew in, and basically every time you loaded up a plugin, each of those knobs would auto configure to a control on the plugin, and the plugin would reside on, the screen would reside on this box. And I can't remember what it was called, but it looked really interesting. But it's so difficult because so many synthesizers have different features and buttons and knobs that to cater for more than just a few then becomes makes it very either unwieldy or very expensive. So it's a weird thing, but this is nice because these are specific for the modifications
Hardware
that they
and
they're nice, but interesting things. I mean, if I had an original 101, 202 or 60, I would consider upgrading.
It's an investment, isn't it? It's an investment on your already valuable machinery.
Indeed you do. Right, there you go. That's the Tubbutec controllers for the Tubbutec upgrades for the SH101, MC202 and the Roland Juno 60. Let's have what should we do next? I'm going to bring the mood down a little bit. I'm going to do it now so that we have time to build it back up again.
Sandwich.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So you may have noticed, if you follow the Facebook group of the ProSynth Network, then you would have probably seen a couple of posts that I made in the last few weeks about a lovely little cat. And we all love cats here. A lovely little cat called Oscar. And Oscar is an incredibly famous cat because He is the basis for a huge number of synth memes. There he is, poking his head out of a System 55 cabinet, so I am told. And this was taken about 16 years ago. And it was taken by my friend, Tim Curtis. And Tim is a producer, an engineer, and musician, a fellow Fairlight nerd, and an all-round good guy. And he's based out in LA. He originally comes from Milwaukee. And he was in Wisconsin about 17 years ago for, I can't remember what the reason was, but they found this guy as a stray, rummaging in bins, looking to eat. And so they adopted him, and they took him with them, especially when they moved to LA, and he's been with them ever since. And unfortunately, Oscar took a little turn for the worst a few weeks ago. And I thought, so many memes have been created with this little guy that we ought to send our appreciation and our love to him and our best thoughts. And so that's what I did. And I posted this on Synth Memes and on the Pro Synth Network Facebook page. And the outpouring of support and love for this little guy was incredible. It was very, very, very touching. Unfortunately, his battle with illness was a little too much, and he passed away last weekend on his mummy's lap, nice and peacefully. He was 17 years old, so he'd had a pretty good innings for a kiddie. But he is famous the world over, and he's brought so many people so much fun and joy. So I then posted the sad news, and again the outpouring of love and the condolences for Tim and his wife, and of course Oscar himself. This is Oscar, quite recently on that very same synth, but as you can see, he's aged very nicely, but he's aged. He's got his little neckerchief on. And I think what he's saying in this picture is, yes, he's now fully inspected the synth, both inside and out, and it has passed. So yeah, poor old Oscar passed away, and so I thought it was nice to give him a mention, because he is a very famous cat, although not many people knew the story behind it. But there is your Moog Synth Memes kiddie in all of his glory, and yeah, thank you, Oscar, for many lovely memes, even though you had no idea that those were going. And by the way, for anyone that is interested, that Moog that he's sitting on is almost finished. It's been like an ongoing project for many years. And I actually had a small part in this, because I had to order some parts. I was telling Kent about this the other day, from, I think they were Bulgaria, new old stock potentiometers that Tim couldn't find anywhere else. So I had to order them in and then send them out to the US, and they arrived yesterday. So fingers crossed this will get finished very soon. And we need to get Tim on the show. But rest in peace, Oscar. You are a legend. You always will be, and we'll always remember your inquisitive and smiling little face, saying, "Dad, I've inspected this one. It's fine."
Lovely.
There he is. Anyway, some sad news. And yes, of course, as Mike says, we also lost Paul Schreiber, who was a big voice, shall we say, a big man in the synthesizer design business that made the MOTM modules. I think, Kent, did you have some experience of MOTM stuff?
Yeah, I built a 270 module system.
Oh, yeah, 270 modules.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a massive 4-cab thing.
Yeah.
It took
Paul
6 months at least.
Yeah, he was very prolific. And he came back with his business, didn't he? And then I think Analog Haven just recently kind of made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and said, "Look, we'd love to keep." Oh, look at Tom. We'd love to keep producing stuff.
I thought I'd take everyone's mind off the
yeah, absolutely.
the volume issues.
And Analog Haven, they did this deal with Paul, and he apparently he went in for a fairly routine procedure on his heart, and something happened, and yeah, he's no longer with us, which is a real shame. I was quite touched by our friend Suit and Tie Guy's little tribute to him. He actually finished building a synth for a customer, and he signed it on one of the end panels. I finished this on the day that Paul died, and then put a nice little tribute on the end there, which I thought was very sweet. Because I know that he was quite close to him. and a lot of people were, which is nice to see. But it's a shame that we have lost yet another one.
We're still getting comments about volume.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
I've not.
I think we're getting you're too quiet now.
I've boosted me.
I'm less than half what we were when I started, so I've reduced my volume on my mixer. So I think the streaming software is obviously boosting me.
It's doing something.
For some reason. Kent as loud as I am? I mean,
I have no idea.
It's very strange. I mean, I'm going to turn off my automatic adjustment, but I'm going to turn yours on, Jason, if it isn't already.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's
see if that makes a difference, because to us we sound fine.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah, from this side of things, it sounds equal.
Clearly, something's going on the other end. Yeah,
and I can understand it's quite annoying when someone's much quieter.
I took Siri's collar off to rub her neck,
and
I have the collar here.
Uh-oh.
By the way, these are available from the ProSynth Network.
They are indeed. There's
apparently that's worked.
Yay! Thanks, guys. And thank you all for, if you're watching this in the future, thank you for your patience.
Here we go. She loves her collar.
You ready?
Thanks, Grace.
There you go. She's happy dog.
Sorted now. She's
happy
happy.
dog. Thank you, Grace. Haven't seen Grace in ages. Far too long. Where the hell have you been?
No.
More to the point. Well, not saying more to the point. Equally to the point.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Mr. Brooks? Haven't seen Mr. Brooks in ages. Oh, and Andy Synthetics in the room. Haven't seen Brooksy in ages. Hope he's okay.
on the run, isn't he, after that bank heist?
He must be, yeah.
Yeah.
Something. So that was a little bit of sad news from Oscar the Cat and, of course, Paul Schreiber. There has been some more sad news in the industry that has emerged over the last few days. So somebody sent me a link a few days ago and asked me if I knew anything about this, and I didn't. So here in the UK, we have a music technology retailer called the Guitar Amplifier and Keyboard Centre, and they're based in Brighton, and everybody knows them as GAC. Which I always thought was a slightly unfortunate abbreviation, but not as unfortunate as Play Music Today, which is a company called PMT, which just still baffles me that they
it's only
went
open
with that.
Once a month, is it?
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay.
And you phone them up and they go, what?
Moving swiftly on before we offend half of our audience. GAC have gone out of business.
No.
Yeah. No. So apparently, GAC sounds. It does sound. So yeah, GAC have been around for blooming ages. I remember them from years and years and years ago. I've bought stuff from GAC, mail order anyway. But so apparently the local newspaper, the Argus, reported earlier this week that things were afoot because there was a sign in the window. The store just shut without any warning. There was a sign in the window that said that they were closed for refurbishment. And then the website started to disappear and the Reverb store started to disappear. Now it appears, or it's not appeared, it's actually true, that they've gone into administration and the business has been put up for immediate sale. In fact, it was so immediate, and here is the website. This is the Business Sale Report website, which puts GAC up for sale. They wanted offers in by the end of business today, with final offers to be submitted by Monday. The turnover is around 20 million. But one would imagine there's probably a significant amount of debt or late payments going on. I mean, the first thing we have to mention is that a whole bunch of people are potentially going to lose their jobs, and that is the worst thing about this. Is that there's going to be a bunch of people who currently right now are sitting thinking, I have no idea what's going on, and I might not have a job to go into on Monday morning. Fingers crossed, somebody will buy them. But they've gone into administration. They're one of the big kind of retailers. They've got this big presence, as you can see there in the picture, in Brighton. But obviously they do a lot of business online. But this is a sign of kind of the times, isn't it? You know, you either are big and massive, like the Tomans of this world, or the Guitar Centres, in the other side of the Atlantic, or the Andertons as well. And I mean, we look at Digital Village. They got eaten up by the German music. What was it? Music store. Yeah, musicstore.de bought them. So I don't know somebody might come in, music store might come in and buy these up and take them on. I don't know, but it's
a bit sad and perhaps a little bit late for that. I mean, if it's gone into receivership now, then surely they've had all those conversations with all the likely parties that would purchase, that store. But it is sad. I mean, I worked in a music store for years, so I know how that feels, and I know that the market is very different now because of the internet. I mean, we love it and we're here because of it, but the internet gives us information, it gives us reviews, it gives us opinion, where that was the sole purpose of your music store, was to go and see the guy or gal or find out what was good, what was happening, what they thought of it. Now you watch YouTubers, right? Or watch shows like this. I mean, it's where it all comes from now. So it's
it's a funny old game, isn't it? It is. It has changed massively from when we were young.
Yes. Well, I mean, even like you said, far away, really. I mean, last 15 years, 10 years, I think.
Yeah, well, one time a day you could open a music shop in a converted sweet store, sweet shop.
Yeah.
Just a little thing and it'd be full of people every single day. And at the weekends it was just mental. Yeah.
But they can't compete now because obviously you've got the overheads of having a bricks and mortar store, plus the fact that you're probably not going to be shifting as much as the online retailers who get bulk discounts and will get much more preferable deals when it comes to stocking items. It's a very
and they're not going to have that unit you're going in there for.
I know.
Yeah,
especially if it's high end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not singling out PMT. I know PMT have music technology sections, over and above guitars and bass and drums. Yeah. But my recollection of going into these music stores 20, 30 years ago was that it was 50-50. Guitars on that side, and you had keyboards on this side.
And recording gear.
Yeah,
lots of
and then
really recording gear.
That side of the store shrunk and it shrunk and it shrunk to the point where it was virtually, and now they just shove it upstairs out of the way. Nobody really cares about it, and it's a real shame. PMT in Norwich, and I must go and see our friend there because our friend at PMT puts our show on every day of the week. He loops our show. Which is fantastic.
That's nice.
And he even put a little standee up saying, processing with a little QR code and everything, which is fantastic. But it's not. I know that guy from way back. He sold me a lot. I can point to all of these things that he sold me over the last, probably about 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And he's still in the game, but it's not the same. It's just not the same, and it's a real shame to see these stores
that's
going.
That's a missed shop. Where Ben's saying about going to Denmark Street.
Oh no,
going in. That's where I met Hans. Had that lockdown with me, Hans, Mel Wesson, playing gear after the shop had closed.
I mean, Denmark Street now. It's still there. You've got the Roland store there, which has expanded, so it's now on 2 levels. You've got the drums downstairs, you've got all the keyboard stuff upstairs, synthesizers in one section, pianos in another. But it is nothing like it used to be. Nothing
but
like
the ground rent on that is
stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go down to Charing Cross Road. Turnkey was the first place I would go to, and then I'd go to all the other little places around it. I think I went into Argent's once or twice before it closed. But it was just heaven, because everywhere you turned your head, there was a music technology store selling synthesizers or drum machines or anything. But it's all changed. Oh, listen to us.
Yeah,
Us
Fucking
boomers
mad.
and Gen Xers.
ABC Music was another big one.
Yeah.
Bought the farm in the end.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Most of that was mismanagement, though.
So it's a real shame. And if anybody from GAC is watching, and I don't think they are, but if they
Condolences,
we are thinking,
basically.
we are thinking of you, and we hope everything works out okay.
Yeah.
And we hope they find a buyer, and that
Yeah.
you keep
Yeah.
working.
It's not impossible, is it? It's not
No,
impossible.
exactly. So
And
we'll
there's still-
update you on that story as and when we can.
Yeah, see how that turns out.
But it's it's a real shame, a real shame. Okay, so that is the sad news out of the way. So
Okay.
we should move on now to something a little
Good.
bit more cheerful.
Good.
In fact, what we'll do is we'll let's see, what have we got? We're 10 past 8, so we've got about 50 minutes left. Let's just do a couple of quickies here. So first of all, let me just play you the demo or a little bit of the demo of this new plugin from Audio Thing, which I think sounds rather nice. I'm going to cut it short there because it does go into this amazing lead part, and I want you to all go and check this out. This is Manuele Montesanti, who you might know from a lot of Yamaha demo videos, particularly the Montage M stuff. Him and Hans Peter and Blake Edwards do a lot of that stuff, and that was Manuele demonstrating the brand new plugin from Audio Thing, which is, let me just go, I've lost the focus on my page, here it is. This is the RES09. No prizes for guessing what this is. An emulation of it. It's an unashamed RS09, Roland RS09 emulation, which I think sounds really nice. It's got both parts, the organs and the strings, with the vibrato, the envelope, and ensemble modes, but of course it comes with a whole bunch of extra lovely little things, and it's just at the moment €29, which I think is an incredibly good price. There's loads of effects in there as well. There's model tape echoes, overdrives, phasers, and spring reverbs, and you can mess around with the tuning, the individual tuning as well. Lovely little thing. I'm going to go straight to Mr. Spong because I'm sure he has plenty of experience with the original, which you can see on your screen there, the Organ Strings 09. Thoughts on this one, Kent, for €29?
Sold.
There you go.
Sold. Could somebody put the link in the chat, please? I'm going now. I used to have an RS09.
Yeah.
Funny enough, bought from ABC Music. Brand new. It was $299 or $3. It must have been $299. I was poor. $299. I think it was. No, it was more because we had it on HP. $399. Used it extensively. It taught me everything I needed to know about chords and stuff like that. The ensemble was so dreamy. The strings were just gorgeous. I love this thing. I wrote so many tracks on that one little keyboard because I think she was only a 44 noter, wasn't she? Something.
Yeah, it was small. Yeah,
she was a little girl.
There you go.
Yeah, same kind of case design that they had for the
The Saturn.
SH09,
Saturn.
Saturn. You know, all that range as well. And if you were really lucky, you had a CSQ 600 sitting on the end, and a CR78 or whatever. And yeah, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm glad that somebody has gone to the trouble of releasing a plugin. I'm having it.
Yeah, well, the link's in the chat, mate. So
Yeah.
fill your boots. I mean, it is a lovely, lovely thing. I remember there was a book that I used to check out of the school library in 1984 that had, it was either the Saturn or this on the front cover. I even bought the book many, many years later.
Yeah.
And it's a cracking little thing. But I always loved the look of this thing because it was just like small and cute, and
It's beautifully built.
Yeah, lovely thing. But of course, it sounds amazing.
I think it was my first ever stereo out synthesizer.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. Everything else had been mono up until then.
Yeah.
Nice.
According to this, the string and organ sounds can be used separately or together with the ensemble effect, adding movement and stereo depth similar to the Juno chorus, but with a distinctive sound. I mean, I have no real experience, hands-on experience of the original hardware, but I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
The internals.
Yeah, I'd much rather have the plug-in than try to compare them again. They are, I mean, they're beautifully built, but by God, they're a pain in the bum.
Diodes. Days.
Look at that.
But, yeah.
That's how they used to make synthesizers, my lad. But yeah, you've got all these effects that you can throw in and configure in, the audio. You just drag and drop and mess around.
Excellent.
I mean, 29, and this will please Mr. Metley. It comes as an iOS version as well.
Okay.
So if you are in that realm, go for it. Also, another one, it works on Linux. So they've covered all the bases.
I certainly have.
Actually. Cracking little thing that.
Does it
And
work
no
on
iLock.
Cobalt?
Yeah, it's three. You can activate one instrument across 3 computers. No iLock needed. No internet needed. Obviously, not officially sponsored by Roland, but it does beg the question. Why haven't Roland's cloud? I mean, I'm a long-time supporter of the cloud, the Roland one, that is, and they haven't brought out a new instrument for ages. Why can't they do this?
Well, they have certainly gone for the popular Roland keyboards, at least to start with, which I can understand.
But why not
Whether
do
the
those little ones?
RS09 was considered popular
Doesn't matter.
by Roland, because it was certainly popular out here in the real world.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, why they haven't done all of those little oddities that are unique to Roland? I mean, Alex Ball put out another great video this week about the.
Yes, you could. There was, Untoward Media. There was an audio in on the back, so you could run anything through the ensemble and the filter, if I remember rightly.
So let me just see, because obviously they want to know if it does it in the plugin. It says here it also included. They're talking about the hardware. It also included an external audio input, rare feature. Blah blah blah. Does it? I was trying to see if it actually says if it does it here. Doesn't make any mention of it.
We'll have to buy it and find out.
Yeah, buy it and find out. I mean,
I'm buying it anyway. So
€29. So why Roland don't do these little things? Because Alex Ball did this great video about the phase shifter, this rare Roland phase shifter, which sounds gorgeous. They should be putting stuff like that out as a plug-in.
They've got enough. They've got, history of so many good things. That,
That's strange.
Beyond
did Roland Cloud bring out the 202?
I know they've got the 201. I don't think. Let me just check my Roland Cloud again.
I always wanted a 202.
I think it was just the 201 they did.
Because I think I can still remember how to program on a 202.
SH09 perhaps.
When you're talking about 202, you're talking about the
MC.
MC202. No, they haven't done an MC202. Again,
I mean that's come on. How many 90s classics were made using that?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no RS 202 or 505 either.
No.
What?
I know.
What are they
So
doing
many missed
then?
opportunities. and everyone else is kind of saying, well, if you're not going to do it, we will. And just
Well, they don't know their own
Good.
catalogue. Yeah, I'd say, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
come
sure
on.
Selena is great, but I find the Selena can be a bit harsh. It's a very sharp-edged string set.
Jason, are you familiar with the original? Does this float your boat?
I'm pretty sure back in my days up on St Michael's Hill in Bristol, working in a very small boutique little shop, I'm sure we had one of these in, and I spent quite a long time playing with it. And I certainly remember this ilk of instruments coming through the door. Yeah, I mean, again, it's an easy to use, pleasant instrument to play. So definitely for $30. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I'm always looking for things for the iPad.
There you go.
As well.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one for both of us to enjoy. £30. It's nothing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's very good. I think I should be purchasing that this weekend.
Yeah.
It's a very nice sound. So yeah, there you go. That's Audio Thing and their RES09, as you can see it right there. It's currently on offer with 51% off at €29. Even at the full price of $59, I think that's still a really good deal. If you're unsure, there is a demo version that you can try. It has a few limitations, like silence for 3 seconds every 45, and you can't save stuff. But it gets you a chance to mess around with it and say it's available for Windows 7 through 11, Mac OS 10.13 through 15, Ubuntu Linux 20.04, and of course iOS as an application for your iPhone and iPad, if that is where you do your stuff. And I know Mr. Metley has already just bought it on our recommendation. We really should do some affiliate stuff there with these things. Anyway, there we go. Let's see what we got next. Okay, well, we're going to do a little fanciful thing. We'll do that in a moment. But let's talk about this. We'll probably go to 1999 OS if that other app's only. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Always, buy it now.
Get
Get it now.
Get it now.
This was a little piece of news that crept out of the London Synth and Pedal Expo. Did you go to that one, Jason?
No, too far away. London's too far.
Is it? Oh,
it's
well,
ridiculous.
I was thinking about it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because
After what Ian said.
Yeah, after our friend Ian Cole went, because Ian, he likes these little things. He made the journey up. It was kind of he was there for he was moving one of his boys and their wife, I think. And he thought, oh, well, I'm in the air. I'm in that neck of the woods. I think it was in Walthamstow. This was down in Hackney Wick. And he went, and apparently it was massively packed and oversubscribed, even though they had put in this ticketing scheme. It was free, but you had to buy a ticket, and that was designed to sort of like limit the numbers, but apparently it was absolutely heaving.
It's not a big place, is it?
It's not, no. So I thankfully chose not to go. But one of our friends and viewers and supporters, Mr. Andrew Ward, you might know him as ARP Quadra in various synth forums and places, he did go, and he sent a picture in that came from a brochure from Synclavier. Now, that does still give me a little chill down my spine when I say the word Synclavier, because of what happened with the live unboxing and testing of their Regen instrument. The less said, the better. Apparently, though, lots of people like that video. I think people they don't maybe necessarily like the video. They like me being in pain. I think that's what it is. But anyway,
like my Behringer one.
Yeah, so Synclavier themselves were not there, but their UK distributor KMR Audio were, and they had a brochure on display, and that brochure looked a little bit like this. And inside that brochure was the Synclavier Orc 2 keyboard. And this is something that is new and exciting and currently in development. So this is a render. This is not even a very good render, let's be honest. But this is a graphic. There is no actual pictures of this thing. But what they have done is allegedly they have taken the regen engine, given it a little bit of oomph here and there, but then housed it inside a 61-note keyboard that resembles the original ORK or ORC keyboard from the Synclavier. So you've got your big silver knob, no jokes please, your big silver knob, but you've also got a touch screen, and then you've got all of those buttons. Now the original buttons on the original ORK were the same buttons as used in the B-52 bomber, so I am told, built because they were going to be pressed a lot of times and they needed to last, and so they chose those. I doubt they've probably, you never know, they might have done, but all you can just about make out there's like a significant amount of buttonage going on the front of this thing. And then over to the right, quite interestingly, there seems to be 16 little patch points. Now I don't know what they are. They don't say what they are. They could be CV and gates, they could be audio, they could be MIDI, they could be who knows what. But it's quite interesting to see that double ribbon strips across the front, one would imagine. Pitch bend and mod wheels set in the upper region of that wood frame, one would assume. But yeah, this is all we've got to go on. It's just this article in the magazine which states that it's going to have FM, subtractive, and virtual analog synthesis in here. So multi-track recording, which is what the original could do, and that multi-track recording applies to the internal engine and to external connected stuff over MIDI, as well as audio, which is interesting. Premium DSP effects, 2-ribbon controllers, lots of connectivity. There's the original, in case anybody is I mean, it's quite an iconic look there. But yeah, so we have no idea what it's going to cost. However, Andrew very cleverly, thankfully, asked the guy at KMR, and he said, all I've been told is it's going to be somewhere between a Moog Muse and a third wave. So the Moog Muse is around 2,500-3,000, depending on where you go and what currency you're dealing in. And then you're looking at around $5,000, certainly $5 UK, for a third wave. So it's going to be sort of between 3 and 5. I would be surprised if it came in anywhere near 3. It's much likely going to be nearer the 5, but we'll see. Even looking at this thing just makes me shudder. This is much more appealing to me, the Arturia version, which is a lot easier to mess around with. But this is, I think this is dead interesting because Cameron Jones has revamped Synclaviers, bringing them back into the 21st century. But do we need a Synclavier in 2025?
The sound for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we need multi-track recording in a keyboard.
No.
Why do we need that? I mean, take that DSP and put it back into the sound engine.
Yeah.
Put more effects, get those aspects of it sorted. I mean, the Synclavier regen is a lovely thing. It didn't scream Synclavier to me. This, the Orc 2, says, right, okay, I bought a Synclavier, and I want that. I want that in my studio. If I'm spending if I'm spending between $3,000 and $5,000 on a synthesizer with a pedigree like that, I want it to look like the synth.
Yes.
I really do. I want it to sort of to scream that luxury that we all kind of want in our lives. But yeah,
yes, isn't it? Yeah, it's an odd one. I mean, I'm deeply attracted to this because it's a Synclavier, even though I had that experience with the regen. I mean, thinking about it, the regen, I think half the problem, or maybe more than half the problem, was the interface, because it's quite a unique interface. Whereas this, with all so many more buttons per function, it's going to make a bit more sense.
Yeah.
So either the wonderful people at Synclavier, who were, don't get me wrong, they were absolutely superb with me and very generous with their time and their equipment, and they let me borrow it for much longer than they initially planned. Before I had to send it to Mark Barnes, of all people, he was the next person on the chain, and he actually made some sounds with it, but did say it's not an easy thing. So they've got a choice here. Do they say that Puricelli guy? No, we're not going to bother with him because of that mess that you did with the regen. Or they're going to say, no, this is where we get him.
Yes.
So fingers crossed, we might get one of these in. And should I do a live unboxing if I do?
Oh, come on.
You have to.
Got
What you
to
got to
do,
lose?
yeah.
What you got to lose?
Just because people
My
are going to.
reputation.
Don't worry,
Not that
you lost
it's a
that
big-
ages ago anyway. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That business with the goose did that.
Okay. I didn't realise that had got out into the public domain. But
Hey, this
Yeah.
is the internet, mate. Anything can leak,
yeah. Can we have
including that goose.
Can we have ping pong balls? Says Per.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just throw some.
Yeah,
at it.
unboxing is just full of ping pong balls.
That's it. Yeah.
We're going to run the video again.
We'll do that
Oh,
definitely.
yeah,
before the
they've
end
got
of
to
the
run
show,
it again. Yeah.
But there you go. So we've got no more than an article in the magazine, but it's a magazine that is produced by Synclavier, so it's got to be, if they're sticking in it, it's going to happen. So when it happened, I don't know. Could it possibly be Super Booth? That's the question.
Oh,
Very
that's
Here comes
Super Booth.
Jackson's going to
flipping
give
out.
us his
He's coming.
opinion.
What are we doing, guy? What? No, not the. He wants to sit on the laptop because it's warm.
Of
You
course.
cannot do that. Now he's
Jackson.
confused. It's not a modular. It's not a synth.
You can't
And
see
he's
me anymore.
power of God compels you. Back, you demon.
Oh,
Right,
bless him.
okay.
Oh,
Look at-
look at that fluff ball.
All right.
Look
Okay.
at that fluff ball.
You can have no. This is your choice. It's this or nothing. Come on.
I
so-
take nothing.
Yes. Take everything.
Like, squishing himself, little ball.
So we'll keep an eye out for this.
Yeah.
Maybe this will appear at Super Booth. That would be interesting. I don't think they were there last year. I think maybe there might have been a regen there on the distributors table. but-
Somebody was saying something about there will be a video available Monday.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
interesting to see that.
whether that's a video of a picture of it or whether that's
Yeah.
an actual piece of hardware, because if it is hardware, then there's a very good chance that it would be at Super Booth.
Yeah. All KMR would be drawn on was the fact that it was in advanced development, whatever that means. So we'll see. We shall see. But
But they
that's
plug it in, it
interesting.
doesn't catch fire
Yeah.
anymore. That's
Yeah,
the
exactly. I like this period between, sort of, the early, just before Super Booth, where everything speculation starts. Oh, will they? Won't they? Sort of thing.
Yeah. no.
So we should. Talking of which, are you going, Jason?
Oh, still undecided. I
Oh.
think it's the financial aspect of it. I'm
Yeah.
struggling with it at the moment, unfortunately. I've got to be able to afford it, and this year might be. It's a little bit tight, should we say?
No,
so,
understandable.
yeah. If somebody wants to pay for me to go, I'll happily go.
Honestly, if I could, I would. I absolutely would. Yeah, I mean, we'll be there, or I'll be there. I know Peter's going to be coming. Peter James Stevens going to be there. Hopefully, he's going to be holding a camera for me every now and again, so we can do some stuff. I'm not going to be doing anything Nick Bat style. Don't, if you're going to look for that, don't come looking here. But I'll probably do stuff not similar to what Jason does, sort of this kind of guerrilla, just jump on someone and say,
Are you calling me a gorilla?
yes. Asking weird questions. What was the one you asked me?
Oh, why Synthfest?
Yeah, it was just like, why Synthfest? I'm like, well, why not?
But, I mean, you just need. Look at the new mic. Look how
No.
tiny that is.
I know, they're so
So good. It's like that's it, isn't it? It's like done.
yeah.
Wow.
I bought the little pros that come
good.
with the little lavaliers as well, because I like a lavalier.
You would. You would.
But no, I think I'll have the lavalier for me, and then I'll just go like you say, just go like
You could do a Jervis.
yeah, do a
The thing with
Jervis.
those little radio microphones is, though, you've got to remember to turn them off when you go to the bog.
Yes.
The last ones I had, I ran low because I'd either turn them off, put them in my pocket
Yeah.
or my brown bag as it is, and then get them out, turn them off, and put them on someone.
Yeah.
Therefore, not recording the audio. I did that a few times. Or I just leave them on and run them flat.
Yeah.
This is a charging chargeable case, so you put them back in here and it charges them.
Yeah,
It lasts
that's what
a
I've
good
got.
days. So I
That's clever.
want to
Yeah.
be able to test that out.
That's it. Yeah, I've got the ones with the case that you just pop back in and recharges both the microphones and the receiver as well. And it's got these little mag clips as well, so you can pretty much attach it anywhere you like. It comes with the Valiers. It comes with all the different cables. So it comes with USB to Lightning, USB to USB-C, 3.5 to 3.5. Yeah, everything you need is there. It's and it was pretty reasonably priced as well. A lot cheaper than buying it direct from Rode, I have to say. And I got a free interview mic stick as well, which I'm really chuffed about. That's in the post. Yeah, that sort of thing. I'm going to be Terry Wogan. Hey,
Celebrity swears.
God, that's going back some.
What program? Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, there you go. That's the Synclavier Orc 2. Who knows? We'll see that fairly soon, we hope, and we shall report on it as we do. Very, very quickly, I just wanted to give this a mention because things are going to be happening very soon. You might remember, certainly if you're in the UK, that the BBC used to own a studio in the lovely part of London called Maida Vale, and they sold it. Unfortunately, it was the home of the BBC Symphony Orchestra. Is no longer. That home has moved to just across from the Olympic Stadium in East London, so it's still there, and it's in purpose-built
Shedding Walthamstow now.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Actually, no, I walked past it recently, and it's a lovely building. It really is. I haven't seen inside, but from the outside, it's amazing. That's where your license fee goes. But Maida Vale Studios, which used to be an ice rink back in the day, and was converted to a studio complex by the BBC, was sold by the BBC a few years ago to none other than the gentleman that sits or stands cardboard and stationary like in the corner of Kent Studio, which is Hans Zimmer. And the future of Maida Vale Studios is almost confirmed because they have submitted their planning application to Westminster City Council ahead of a long consultation period with the local sort of community. And it's going to be turned into an epic film and music production facility. These are the four guys that kind of head up the consortium that bought it and are planning to do it. And of course, the big cheese in the left-hand corner there is Herr Zimmer himself, who is super excited about all this. This website will give you a bit of an idea. It's called, the website is futureofmaidavalestudios.co.uk. It will give you a bit of a history about Maida Vale, which is an incredible space. And what they intend to do with it, which is spectacular. They're looking to build 5 dedicated recording studio spaces within that environment, and improve their facilities no end. But also, there's going to be film production facilities kind of in the same building. So there's this big kind of ball of creativity being built in the heart of this amazing studio. So they're looking to change up the outside, as you can see there. They're looking to spruce that up a little bit from what it is at the moment, and of course on the inside as well, with world-class facilities. So this goes in front of Westminster City Council's planning committee on April 1st. Fingers crossed it will get the approval that it needs, and we should hopefully see the Maida Vale studio back in operation sooner than we can say Gladiator or Inception. So yeah, I just thought I'd give that a mention because that's really exciting. Everyone was thinking that when the BBC offloaded Maida Vale, that would be the end of what is. I mean, for me, the name Maida Vale is John Peel sessions. That's what it means to me, because all of the John Peel sessions were recorded there. And it's an incredible space. So I think it's very exciting that Hans has come back to the UK, and that once again London can be the heart of the film and music score sort of industry. I think that's very exciting. I really do. And we need to get Mr. Zimmer on the show to talk about it.
Yes. Yes.
Sort it. As I'd love to. I'd love to talk to him about that. That's just incredible. Even if we can get a little tour. Let's come on. Let's dream big.
It's in a bit better condition than when the BBC left it.
Well, indeed. Yeah. Apparently there's a big asbestos problem.
Yeah. But the BBC still haven't moved out.
No.
They're dragging their heels a bit.
Yes.
Because Hans and Co.
shop room.
itching to get in.
So-
But yes, so and they are going to be making a radiophonic workshop. ACO, they are doing
Yeah.
it.
So that's really exciting. So there's lots of great. It's going to be great. I'm very excited about it. Can't wait to see that go. Anyway, we have got about 20 minutes left. It is our 5th birthday. What was happening 5 years ago today? Would you like to see what was happening 5 years ago?
Oh God, go on.
Today. This is, I mean, there's only one of us here that this will be painful for, but you know how slick our openings and intros are these days, with pre-produced opening titles, with music written by my good self and other bits as well. This is how we opened Pro Synth Network official episode 1. Doesn't give me the exact date, but I can tell you it was the end of March of 2020. We had just gone into lockdown, and this was how we opened the show. Here we go. We had a static still that sat there until I got some sort of notification that the show was live. It'll get there, trust me, it will get there eventually. This was the beauty of live broadcasting without any sort of extra. I have pressed play. Yes, I have pressed play. Here we are. We're and introduce Ben, who's shrunk again, Mr. Ben Simpson, and myself, Rob Puricelli. Good evening to everyone. Hello. Don't forget you can leave your messages in the chat and talk to us live, and we'll try and respond. And we haven't got any title music or any credits or anything just yet, but this is our first official broadcast, Ben, on the official channel.
Excellent.
Which is all
Let's
good.
hope it's a good one.
Let's see if it rakes in some money from the advert. We can only hope. Anyway, there we go. So that's how we opened the Pro Synth Network 5 years ago with our first official show. Ben looking like he was a Cyberman with those headphones on. They're really big, weren't they?
Like them. Yeah.
And he was in this little kind of room that he had in his house. He eventually moved downstairs, but he was in this little kind of box room which had these wonderful comics on the wall. I did ask Ben to come on tonight, but he is unfortunately otherwise engaged. He's gigging, but we are going to try and get him back on. I know he's looking forward to trying, to sort of showing his face again, and we'd love to have him back. But those were the days. I mean, look, I had look at me. I had a Fairlight in the background with a Yamaha CX5M, and I think an Emax and a DX5 with my crappy little Behringer C1 or whatever it was microphone. In fact, I was wearing that T-shirt last week. I think it was on last week's show. Same T-shirt, a few more holes. But yeah, there you go. That was the opening of the very first show. None of your fancy schmancy opening credits and titles and stuff. Just like straight in.
Looks like a modern pub now.
It does a bit, doesn't it? And that jaunty sort of crossover thing.
Yeah.
Because we were using OBS as our broadcast software, but to get Ben in, and later on Chris, who joined, well, he was part of the team, but I don't know why Chris wasn't on this first show. I can't remember why. I don't think he joined later on either. Let me just have a quick look. Don't think he did. No, he didn't. So I can't remember why Chris wasn't on, but I think he was on like episode 2 or 3. But yeah, we were using OBS, and we used to have to use Skype, as you can see by the little thing, the little widget in the corner there. And the reason that Ben shrunk was because Skype automatically adjusts the size of the video based on the bandwidth. And bandwidth there wasn't very good. I think I was still on a pretty slow internet connection there. But so, there we go. How things have changed.
Yes.
How things have changed. But one of the things that I noticed on that video, and do you remember this is when we actually were like proper, and we used to chapter the videos so that you could go to your favourite bits. But we had this bit in the show where we were featuring an article that we had found on synthandsoftware.com, where they listed their top 10 synthesists.
Yay.
Pretty broad kind of thing. We had a fairly long discussion about it. So I think you had Wendy Carlos, you had obviously Keith Emerson, you had Brian Eno, Who else did we have in there? I think Stevie Wonder made an appearance. Who's that? Oh, Kraftwerk, of course.
Schultz,
Yeah.
maybe.
Morton Subotnick.
Mm.
Who else? Who is that? Oh, that's of course Tangerine Dream. Tamita. Tayusa.
Yes, Istio.
Yeah. There's Stevie.
Yeah.
Joe Zawinul.
And so it's by Stevie. Did that not mean Tonto?
Wow. That's,
You know,
yeah, exactly.
It was, you know, that era, those albums. Oh,
But I was just wondering, I thought it might be interesting for, maybe 10 minutes to kind of get everyone else's opinion on who their top 10 synthesists are. And I guess to do that, we also need to define what we mean by the term synthesist, because as you rightly pointed out, Stevie's, his kind of golden period, as they call it, a lot of that was done with Tonto, which was, of course, Bob Margouleff and Malcolm Cecil.
that's it, yeah.
They were mostly behind all of the synth programming there. So, thinking about, people who actually programmed synthesizers to do stuff, who would you have? I mean, you don't have to give me a top 10, but who would you be considering for inclusion in your top 10? Mr. Jason Jervis.
Klaus Schultz for definite.
Yeah?
Tonto for definite.
Yeah.
Tamita would be in mine, I think. Aphex Twine,
Okay.
something a bit more modern, and the guys from Boards of Canada.
Oh, yes.
If we're talking sound design, I'd probably introduce the Orb as well, because I think whilst they use synthesizers, I think their use of sampling and sonic landscapes with soundscapes is where they really excel. That's nearly 10, isn't it?
It's getting there. That's a good selection.
It's a good selection.
So I'm just kind of going, whilst you're doing that, I'm going through and highlighting what some of the people in the chat are saying.
Yeah.
Mr. Spong, how about you? Who would you have up there in that top 10? Yeah, again, you don't have to give me a top 10.
Well, I mean, if we're
Just
talking
give me-
sound design stroke programming, Howard Scarr, Mel
Yes.
Weston,
Yes.
Larry Fast, Tamita.
Tayuta.
Yeah. Although when you listen to his Tamita's albums, it's not an awful lot of Moog on it.
There's a lot
It's
of
more
Mellotron.
Mellotron than there is Moog on it, However, regardless, they're beautifully recorded for the Mellotron. I think. I mean, I would say Vangelis, but not from a sound point of view, because he's like me. He's a preset boy, and if you've got a beautiful preset, why mess with it?
Yeah.
But his early stuff, I mean, he was writing, programming his own sounds on his earlier stuff, but I don't get on with it quite as well. I don't know. It's a fair list, isn't it?
It is. I mean, that's.
I tell you what, yeah, no, do you know what? I think I put Klaus on there as well, actually.
Klaus is on mine for sure.
Yeah. Possibly Moroder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever the hell did because you know me and my memory, but whoever did the sampling for Art and Noise, or whomever's.
Well, sampling was down to JJ and Gary.
Well, there you go. Then JJ and Gary. Then because the use of unusual sounds in and give it musical content was absolutely fecking genius. Art of Noise.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because actually this very day in the post I received this.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
This is the art of this. This is the new project featuring JJ Yanzalik, Gary Langan, and Paul Morley on good old fashioned flip top cassette.
Wow.
Very excited. That's very cool. No, I would definitely be saying somebody like JJ. I think he pushed and was pushed to do that by the likes of Trevor and the other people that he worked with, but his understanding of the technology and the use of it just thinking outside the envelope for
Yeah,
sure. Lots of suggestions here. I'm just going to try and.
I mean, it'd be
pick out.
about 20 that I'll think of afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Somebody
It's always the same, isn't it?
Yeah. Someone said Tim Blake. And oh, yeah, Miquette Girardi for me.
Yeah.
Definitely all that working gong and the stuff with Steve Hillage and Rainbow Dome music, all that kind of 70s. It sounds very modern even now when I put it on. So those kind of.
I mean, I would certainly say Tomita for me was massively important for me, and Jar as well to an extent as well. Vangelis, again, like you say, synthesist. He was, like I say, he was more of a preset guy. It's just for him, it was kind of that blend of man and machine rather than really digging something out of nothing.
And the actual strengths and musicality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good education.
Yeah, JJ Angzalik for sure. It's I mean, you've mentioned quite a few there. Kraftwerk, you know, each to their own, depending on who you think. But yeah, there's. I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, I'm just trying to think. I mean, somebody said. So I'm going to go through some of the ones that have been listed here. Okay, and I will kind of agree or not agree. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention. Thank you to Tom at Synth Anatomy. He does a fantastic job with his website. Thank you for your congratulations for our 5th birthday. So who have we got in here? Well, Wendy Carlos, Larry Fast, Jim Hughes has put those up, and Homegrown said the same for Larry Fast. He's definitely up there. Conrad Gibbons says Johannes Schmerling. I don't know who Johannes Schmerling is. I don't know whether I should feel ashamed for not knowing who that is or not.
Probably.
Bernie Worrell.
Yeah. Bernie Worrell. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bernie Worrell
Clark,
was Vince Clark. You see, now Vince
William
Clark
Orbit.
he could do some really good stuff. Nick says Liam Howlett. Absolutely. Dead Man Walking says Tangerine Dream. I guess whichever version or member of Tangerine Dream, they're all pretty clever.
Yeah.
Alan Wilder, ex of Depeche Mode, and of course of Recoil as well. He's very good. I think Wagoo's having a good laugh here, but
Martin
I'll go
Russian?
along with that. Okay, I suppose Martin, in a way, did that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Jeff Downs, Billy Curry, Nick Rhodes, all good. Boris Blank, there's a good one. Boris Blank, not many people.
Of Yellow, yes.
Yeah. Suzanne Ciani. Ian says that. Klaus Schulze says Yanacetta. Ammon Tobin, again, somebody more recent times. David Ball of Soft Cell. Got some good tones out of that Synclavier.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with this one more. Manny Fernandez.
Manny. Yeah.
He really knows his onions. Brad Fidel.
He's almost as good as Howard.
Almost. Yeah. Our mate Benj.
Oh, Benj.
Who's just put out a brilliant Bookler DX5 mashup. Go and check that out on Meme Tune YouTube channel. The guy from Skinny Puppy says the hand of Lenin.
Well, in that case, also me, because it's me that enables Benj to do that.
Well, this is true.
Because without me, he'd be
Here's a
banging rocks
curve.
together.
Yeah.
Are we gonna
Here's a curveball.
Go on.
Donny Osmond for the Crazy Horses effect on the Yamaha YC30.
Wow. Okay.
I think
No, it was
I
a
don't think you
45.
can- okay. But
The YC30 didn't have the ribbon controller.
as nice as that is, I don't think you can put him in the same group as some of the
Do
people.
you know
we
what?
have in.
Every time I've had a YC45 come in, I play that on it. And go,
Yes.
it's working.
Whee!
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Dan Phillips, he's a good sound chap.
Let's think about it. I mean, these people are the guys that make the presets that people like Vangelis they use. So actually, these are the names we need in here. People who actually do the programming.
Yeah, but who programmed the presets for the CS80?
Oh, yes. Indeed.
Exactly.
I mean, whoever come up with that brass 1 and 2 deserves a fecking Oscar.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
And guitar 1 and
Asio
2.
Head's having a laugh.
Yeah, that is a lot.
There is another one. So we did have Dan from Akai. We've got Espen Craft, which I think is rather funny. But there was a better one. I don't know if you've ever encountered this guy on the internet. But Rafa Science, I think that was inspired choice there.
What
Richard
about
Barbieri.
Mr. Omnisphere?
Eric Persing.
Eric
Yes.
Persing.
Yes.
That's it, yeah,
Voiced
absolutely.
many a synth.
There's a preset programmer for you.
Richard Barbieri, Daniel Miller, Anthony Marinelli, Yuichi Sakamoto, Susumu Yokota. Yeah. Here's one that a lot of people wouldn't get, and I get this completely because Wally Badarou is a genius. In fact, I was having a conversation with Robin Scott. Robin Scott is a man behind M, aka Pop Music, and he did a whole bunch of experimental stuff over the years, particularly with things like Fairlight. And I was having a conversation with him about Level 42 because Level 42 signed to Eagle Records, I think it was called, which was Robin's label. Right. And was it Robin's label? They got recommended. Anyway, Robin was kind of involved in that early thing. And I said, oh, so, you and Wally go back quite a way. And he just started to tell me all of these wonderful stories about Wally Badarou and his programming of things, particularly the Prophet 5 and the Synclavier. There's a brilliant piece on the World Machine album by Level 42. I mean, Wally is considered the fifth member, many other unnamed members of bands. And he came up with a cabasa sound on the Synclavier by sampling a Bic lighter. And he just went like that, slowed it down, and there was this cabasa. And it's on a track called It's Not the Same for Us on the World Machine album. Have a listen to it. Dig it out on Spotify, Apple Music. And it's a Bic lighter, and it's brilliant. It sounds amazing.
That's what gets me excited. Those kind of like, that's a what?
Exactly.
I want that. I want that in my life.
But you listen to any of the those Grace Jones records that were recorded at Compass Point.
Yeah.
All of the synths on that, they're all Wally. And
Right.
they are
Really?
amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Daphne Oram. Couldn't agree more there. Yeah.
The
Some really
list
good
has
names.
turned into a book.
Sorry?
The list has now turned into a book.
It has.
Isn't it?
It has.
I
mean,
think I'd read that. The unsung heroes of synth.
Yeah,
'Cause,
absolutely.
off that website, they're performers.
yeah.
Actually, synthesists, I would argue, for the most part, are not the performers. They're
This is
people
true.
doing the real hard work behind the scenes to enable an instrument, the lifeblood that then hands to a performer, to then go off and, and Marinelli and all the sort of the sort of Michael Jackson stuff. I mean, those sounds are the music, right?
Yeah.
Of what we all listen to and hear. So
Got me thinking, though. We'd love to know who the guy was who did the presets for the 80.
yeah.
It would be
Because
interesting to find that.
Dusty told me that the process was that they had the 50, which was built. It was built first,
Yeah.
and you have the sliders, and you make your sound, and then with a multimeter, you measured what the resistance was on each slider, and the resistance would be a resistor that goes onto a card. So when you select the button, it went through that series of resistors for the sliders to produce the sound.
Wow.
Because there's no digital memory or anything.
No.
And so somebody created those sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Incredible.
find out who that is then and give them a big, big bottom kiss. Especially for Brass 1 and 2 alone.
Yeah.
Tara Bush.
And should have been presented with an Oscar
Tara does some great stuff.
when Blade Runner was shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had some people on the show. We've had Tara Bush on the show who can do amazing things with 2600 or a Mini Moog or whatever. We've had Steve Beccaro on the show. I mean, some of the stuff he's done with the Polyfusion, let alone
Their brass,
other stuff. I mean, Don Lewis and Gary Leuenberger and, of course, Dave Bristow, who we've had on the show.
Ian Bodie.
Ian
yeah,
Bodie,
someone
yeah.
said that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But those,
yeah,
Dave, I say Dave
Penny's
Bristow, Gary Leuenberger, and Don Lewis are responsible, like it or not, for many of those DX7 presets. I mean, Gary Leuenberger gave us E-Piano 1. Yeah, that was him. And I mean, how many records? I mean, if he got
it's prolific.
it's just
Prolific.
bonkers.
Piano
Absolutely
moods.
bonkers.
Yeah, that's the only reason that the jokes exist is because it's so prolific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the reason it was so prolific is because everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Good. So good.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. So I mean, we could do an entire show. Maybe we will one day.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Yeah.
we will one day, yeah.
Of coming up with a top 10, but I don't think it would
Probably
be
get armed
definitive.
with more information first, but
No, it wouldn't be. The great
mean-
thing about this topic is that we've all got an idea, and the
Yeah.
chat just going with name after name after name, and everyone's valid. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that person.
True
Oh yeah,
Schlesinger,
that
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You know,
So many
yeah.
names. Yeah.
such a lot of people out there that
And
do
they all deserve
amazing-
the credit.
and just
for
as
sure.
many unsung,
Yeah.
Yeah.
unknown
Absolutely.
in the background as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Well,
Delightful.
gentlemen, that brings us to pretty much the end of the show. It's been our fifth
yeah.
birthday.
It's
It's been a nice one. I shall be having a little drink later on to celebrate. I'll have a little drink later on.
playing with the cats.
Yeah,
We haven't had
indeed.
the. There we go. That's my celebratory cat. Not exactly.
Well, I've got Neil and Chris keeping me company today. So there you go. There's Neil and Chris.
All going wrong. Oh,
Oh, yeah. I'll
so
tell you
that
what,
they-
if it's that colour, I'd see a doctor about it. It doesn't look good.
But yeah, I'm going to go listen to my Art of This cassette tape later on. I mean, today was a real bonus because I got my Private Dancer Tina Turner box set arrived today, which is rather nice.
Ooh.
I had the Darkness. Their new album came out today. Yes, I did buy the tape and the CD and the vinyl. Look at the dog on the vinyl. Look, they did a special one. That's Rufus
Yeah.
Taylor's dog.
Ah,
And they did a special version for him, so I bought that. Sleaford
excellent.
Mods got their new live album as well today, which I'm going to be digging into tomorrow. There you go, live at the Bodega. So lots to listen to this weekend. I think I've got something else turning up tomorrow. I can't think what it might be. This is another one, Envy of None, if you've not heard of them. Alex Lifeson from Rush.
oh yeah.
It's a really good
Oh,
album.
right.
Yeah, really good album.
A bit of prog.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't beat a bit of
Never
that.
heard
Anyway,
anybody.
that has been episode 260, which was our 5th official birthday show.
Brilliant.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for spending it with us and celebrating.
No problem.
And thank you to Tom, who's looking resplendent there, and of course Jackson, who is the star of the show. Without a shadow of doubt. Go on, make him do it. Make him do it. Make him do it.
Wasn't there a Synthspirations?
We didn't do our Synthspirations. Oh, shall we overrun?
Fuck it, it's the birthday
Let's
one.
overrun.
Yeah,
Birthday one.
overrun.
Let's
Do the
overrun.
Synthspiration
I
and
am
then
s- I
show
am-
Fiona and the ping
And
pong
we'll show Fiona
ball.
and the balls.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I completely forgot because I got carried away with the birthday celebrations that we have a Synthspirations video.
Yeah, got to get it in. Come on.
And it's from a very good friend of ours. And if he's been watching, he's been waiting a good 2 solid hours. So well done, you, sir. I didn't think we were going to have one this week, and then he got one in last minute. So let's do this. Let's have our Synthspirations video from our friend in the United States of Canada.
Oh,
And long may it stay independent. We're on your side, Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey Derry. We also know him as Canadian Jesus. You'll see why we know him as that. We love this guy. He's coming over to the UK later on this year. So we can't wait to see him. But this is Jeffrey Terry's Synthspirations. So let's have this only lasts about 4 or 5 minutes. So let's go for this. Here we go.
Hello there. My name is Jeffrey Derry. I am from Montreal, Canada. And I'd like to begin by wishing a happy 5th anniversary to PSN. And thank you for all the great content you've provided over the years. Very funny, very informative, well, mostly informative, because that's what the show's about. And I'm wishing you 50 more years to come of great shows. Now, as far as my Synthspirations, before I got into keyboards, I didn't like them. I kind of hated keyboards because they made bleep, bloop, bleep sounds. And for me, that was it. It was like bleep, bloop, and nothing. But then I remember the exact day the date, the time I got into them, because my girlfriend on my 16th birthday said, "Oh, there's a concert tonight. Let's go there. I bought you tickets." I went like, "All right, okay, cool. Let's go." And then got into the concert hall, and there were 3 sets of keyboards on the stage. And I really wasn't happy, because keyboards on my 16th birthday? No, we could do something better on my 16th birthday. Anyway, so show began, and I was like, all right, okay, there's a guitar. Okay, there's a guitar. That's good. There's a guitar. And then after maybe half an hour, I got into it. I said, okay, well, you can make music with keyboards. And it's not just like something in the background, it's right in front of you. And it was this wonderful band, Saga, which I say is the best band in the world. They're not. They're the best band for me, but they're the ones who took me from not liking keyboards to liking keyboards. By the end of the show, I was totally sold. The next day, I bought their first 4 albums. And 2 weeks later, I bought my first keyboard. So is that inspired or what? Yeah, there we go. Anyway, their first album, this one, great one too. And then what else? After that, the great band, Asia. This had guitars too, and so that took me a little bit further into keyboard and what it could be done. Really great band. Love the band. And then, well, of course, if you were into keyboards, you'll get into Jean-Michel Jarre. That really gave me an idea of what can be done with just keyboards and how wide it could be. Really, it expanded my mind. The one that really expanded my mind. The Great Vangelis. The Great Vangelis. That album still, to this day, I listen to it and I'm still amazed. Everything is great. The movie without that music is not the same movie. It's not as good. The music alone is amazing. The music with the movie is a masterpiece. So it got me into buying more keyboards, obviously, right? Just, and then I got into these guys called Delirium. Canadian band as well, like Saga. Canadian band who got me into a different kind of way of approaching keyboards and sounds and textures, and lots of textures in Delirium. There's like 4 albums that are really, really interesting. Spheres 1, Spheres 2. This one, Semantic Spaces and Karma, are really their top, in my opinion. And anyway, that's where we are. And thank you very much. And I wish everyone a very good day. Bye-bye.
Oh.
And there we go. That was Jeffrey Derry and his wonderful Synthspirations. Definitely a prog bent there going on for sure. Asia Saga, yeah. As was it Tim Dale Music said in the chat, one thing I learned from Asia is that you can never have too many keyboards.
And there's Jeff Downs again. You see, his name's come back from the
everywhere.
Yeah,
we I think we need to get Jeff on the show as well. I think we have a couple of ins to Jeff. You being one, Kent, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get on that. But thank you, Jeffrey. And I'm sorry we left it till the very end, but it was because it's so special.
Well, some genius mentioned it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I think it was homegrown. That mentioned
and I just happened to clock it.
But
I thought I'd deliver it.
I'm so
it like I knew, sort of thing. Oh, we're doing an inspiration.
Yeah. Oh. Right. By the way, if you're watching and you think you can do what Jeffrey just did, and we'd love you to do so. We've had lots of people do that very thing. This is what it's all about and how you can do it. We want to know what music inspired you to make music with synthesizers. Be it an album, single, or an entire artist's body of work, we want you to tell us why it inspired you, and given that we're a synth show, which instruments used on that album really made an impact. All you need to do is film yourself talking about your synthspiration for a few minutes, and we'll feature it on the show and discuss it. Send your video clips along with your name or handle to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com using a file sharing service like WeTransfer, and you could feature on a ProSynth Network live show soon. It's right, you can. That's all you got to do. We'd like to know what Jackson's synthspirations are. Jackson, what are your synthspirations?
I like John Michel.
Bless
I'm trying to get the
He-
Jackson fixed
He
for
would
ages.
do as a pussy.
Oh, look at him. So if you want to do synthspirations, all you've got to do is record yourself on a camera. You don't have to do face to cam. Some people have sent in collages. That's fine. Just send us something visual and audible. Don't include the actual music, though. Unfortunately, we'd love to play clips, but we'd absolutely get slaughtered from a copyright perspective. But please do send us in your synthspirations. Record a video. Generally in the region of sort of 4 to 5 minutes, but if it's longer, that's fine. If it's shorter, that's fine too. And send it to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. If it's a large file, use a file sharing service like WeTransfer or Box or Google Drive or whatever it is, but send it over to us and you will be featured on the show. And all of our synthspiration videos end up on our Patreon page and our YouTube channel members' private pages, edited out of the show, so you can just go and look at them. There's no advertising or anything like that going on, so you can catch up with those. But please do. We've had quite a few of those. I'm amazed that we've had as many as we had. I thought I need to do something to sort of bring a different sort of slant to the show, and you guys have really responded. And I know a lot of you have said I'm going to do one, but haven't done one. So here is my call to action. Do it. Send it in. I'm looking at you, Mr. Jason Jervis, because you promised me one.
I know. At the day one.
I know, right? And here we are.
I'm just trying to figure out which act to go in at, because I've got so many possible options. Anyway, I'll say no.
Yeah, I know.
No, I did. I started making a list. And I'm thinking this Synthspirations is going to be basically a 2-hour ProSynth Network show.
That's what I think I'm at.
How do I cut this down? So yeah, I'm going to have
Well,
to do
you know
that.
what you can do? You do like a Synthspirations part 1 and a Synthspirations part 2 later
Yeah,
on.
Could do.
3, 4, and 5, because we're probably
Yeah.
the elite 6.
It'd be a series.
And then we're going to
Sure.
season 3.
Anyway.
You know it.
But
Yeah,
please
yeah.
do get your synthspirations into us, because we'd love to feature them. And I know so many people have said to me, I really love it because I didn't know about that band or that artist, and now I do.
Yeah.
So, and it, it's there's a broad range of things that you can choose, broad range of artists and albums and things. So, that just, it doesn't matter how obscure it is. Tell us. Honestly, I'll point you to Ros Gray's brilliant thing that they did with the whole alien thing and the voice. It was brilliant, but there was so much music in there that I was not aware of or knew of, but hadn't really listened to. And I just thought, I'm going to go listen to this. And this day and age, it's so easy to do. So please do send us in. ProSynthNetwork@gmail.com is the email address, and just use a file transfer service for the video. And we should be golden. Anyway, I think that now officially brings us to the end of the show. So my apologies to Jeffrey for running that so late, but I'm glad we did. Thank you for reminding us, Mr. Homegrown, and of course Kent as well. I think we'll end the show with some ping pong balls. But before we do, can we just say a massive thank you to Mr. Jason Jervis, and his kitties, who have served so brilliantly well. Thank you ever so much for dropping by. And we love to have you. Please do come back again soon. And thank you very much indeed. When are you on next? Sunday?
Sunday night, jamming in, Jim.
10 p.m. UK time?
10 p.m. UK.
What can we expect?
Oh, I've been enjoying my modular, so I might get. I also want to put the fuse box, whilst I've still got it, into the Pro 3 SE that I've got, but I don't think I've got a big enough desk to put both of them on, because that's big.
Yeah.
3 is big, so that's in the garden. But if I can get away with that one at some point, it's gardening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Okay. Well, 10 p.m. UK time. The channel is Get Jervis. There it is. It's there on his name tag. Just go and find him. Subscribe to him because he's worth it. And the cats are too. So yeah.
Each with their own personal.
Indeed.
No.
Are you doing anything this weekend, Kent?
Past, don't know. No ideas at the moment. It depends on how things go tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah. Cool beans. Okay. Any chance of a pub at the weekend or?
Possible.
Possibly.
Okay. Who knows?
Okay, we shall see. Anyway,
we'll see.
Who else have we got coming? So we've got tomorrow. We've got Andy Synchrotron doing his drone jamming thing at 10 a.m. tomorrow UK time. Then we've got Ramsey. Ramsey will be at 1 p.m. UK time tomorrow afternoon. There'll be, of course, Jason at 10 p.m. on Sunday. Before him, Jamie Morden, aka Geosynths, at 6 p.m. UK. Symptoms of Reality will be doing a show every day. Yesterday
there's a popcorn on now. I think the popcorn night is now.
There you go. Yeah, you can nip off over there.
Yeah.
So plenty of stuff for you to get your synthesizer teeth into.
Fully.
Absolutely. And we'll be back same time, same place next week, as always, 7 p.m. UK time. Although, don't forget...
The new 7 p.m.
It'll be the new 7 p.m. So we will now catch up with North America, and our clocks go forward an hour on Sunday morning at 2 a.m. So now we're back in sync, I think, with most places around the world. But as I said at the top of the show, the best way to get right is to subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button and then hit the notifications bell, then you will be told. It's all it's all sorted for you. So do that. Doesn't cost you a penny, and you'll never miss a show again. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. We will leave you with the wonderful Fiona and her ping pong balls. That isn't as interesting as it does sound, although it is hilarious. And we will see you same time, same place next week. Give us a thumbs up. See you all later. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
He sat down next to me and placed the beautiful
What's those,
which now included Lila.
those
Slowed
crackers?
away into the pond, embracing nature.
The crisp breaks.
Absolutely.
The crisp breaks.
Yeah, that's what they
While
call
the little rules non-mandatory
Have we got any of them?
actually state yes, was also tacit and understood, though perhaps a better edict could reasonably be found in the circumstances.
Fucking twat!
Richard
Asshole!
Yeah, they're the ones. Ow!
Shit!
Ow!
pure dog.
There you go. No, got a ball to play.
A raddled African